Good day, friends. Our today's message on the 23rd day takes us into the seventh miracle. It's the last miracle in Gospel of John at 11th chapter. 11th chapter contains more than 50, rather 57 verses, and you can read them at leisure. And for your benefit and for the brief message, I'll pick up on some of the verses, statements, and conversations which are important in this passage. This miracle itself is one of the most significant and important as Red Sea parting by Moses in the Old Testament. This miracle is a precursor and a foreshadowing of the passion journey Jesus takes later on to his cross, death, and his resurrection on the third day. It is also the most crucial journey that Jesus takes after this miracle, because by the end of this miracle, many Pharisees and leaders of the temple were against him and had conspired to plot his death. The scene is Bethany, a village near Jerusalem, and Jesus is somewhere far beyond Jordan River. And Lazarus is not well, he is sick, and Martha and Mary send message to Jesus that Lazarus is sick. Now Jesus loved this family very much, and it's the same Mary who anoints Jesus with a perfume, expensive perfume. On hearing this, Jesus stays 2 days longer. He tells his disciples, this sickness will not end in death. This sickness is for the glory of God. In the beginning, they don't understand. They are, of course, confused because he is staying 2 more days. He should have immediately rushed to Bethany. First, he tells them he is sleeping. They don't understand, and they say, if he is sleeping, then he will be all right when he wakes up. Then Jesus, knowing that they have not understood, he tells, Lazarus has died. And I am glad you asked, because that way you will believe in me. That way you will believe in the glory of God. After 2 days, he goes to Bethany. It's a day's journey. And by the time he reaches there, already 4 days have passed. He has died. Martha, knowing that Jesus has arrived, she comes and complains, Lord, if you had been here, he wouldn't have died. Now these verses, 2 verses are important, 21st and 22nd. Let's read them. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. 22nd. But even now I know that God will give you whatever you ask God. Now this shows conviction of Martha in the divinity and authority of Jesus. He knew his healing powers because so many miracles were done that people knew Jesus has the healing powers. So she is saying, if you would have come earlier, maybe you would have healed him from his sickness and he wouldn't have died. Second verse, 22nd, tells she has the faith. She has the faith in the authority of Jesus that he is Son of God. Whatsoever he will ask his Father, he can get, and he will resurrect Lazarus. That is the faith. Later on, Mary also arrives there and falls at his feet, and she also says the same words. If you would have been here, he wouldn't have died. Now, seeing all this, Jesus tells them, take me to the tomb. Now, since this was a known family in that area, And many religious leaders had already arrived there to pay their condolences and respect to the dead. And when they knew Jesus was around, so they were all the more attentive to see what will happen. Jesus tells Martha, when she still doesn't understand the power of Jesus, she simply says that I know everyone will rise on the resurrection day. But no, Jesus was telling her about the immediate, right now moment that he would go and raise him up. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, even if he dies, will live, and everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Yes, Lord, I believe you are the Christ, the Son of God. Now, Jesus also joins them in this sorrow and weeps. This is the first time he weeps, and the second time he weeps for the whole city of Jerusalem, because they had rejected and had not accepted that he is Son of God. He comes to the tomb and prays. Now, this prayer is also important. The prayer of thanksgiving is appreciated by God. So, in the very beginning, Jesus says this prayer: Father, I thank you that you have heard me. Yet I know that you always hear me, but for the sake of the crowd standing around, I said this, so that they may believe you sent me. This was the purpose that Jesus stayed on 2 more days to reach Bethany 4 days late and then raise a dead body for the glory of God to shine upon all the unbelievers. After saying these things, he shouted with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. So Lazarus, the dead man, came out of the tomb, and to everyone's surprise and shock, he was still in the burial clothes. This miracle authenticated Jesus' power over all the bystanders, everyone. And seeing this, many of the religious leaders also believed in Jesus. And this was the point at which the temple leaders, Pharisees, they decided to conspire against Jesus to kill him. In this way, the miracle is important, because from here onwards begins the passion journey of Jesus. So, dear friends, I hope you have understood the message, meaning, and the lesson that it gives us is this: we as believers have the assurance and the promise of resurrection, that is, a new life after this life, if we believe in him. And miracle helps us to overcome mankind's greatest fear, fear of death, which is just a gateway for we believers, and we don't mourn on death like many others who don't have this hope. And this concludes our series on the 7 miracles of the Lord. Do post your comments with valuable suggestions and helpful advice to help me create new messages, and also share and subscribe this channel with your family, with your friends. Have a blessed day until we meet tomorrow for our new message.